name is Jorden Gold. I am founder of the Stretch Zone, the world's leading authority in practitioner-assisted stretching. The company officially was started in 2004, formally, but it started before that in 1999, helping my grandfather back to health by stretching him. I got him from not walking at all to a walker to a tripod to dancing at my cousin's wedding, and I wanted to duplicate and scale that worldwide and bring that same benefit of improving people's lifestyles to as many people as I could.
Back in 2016 up until now, we've been fortunate to impact countless communities over the country, now growing to over 300 locations.
Stretch Zone's unique differentiation within the health and wellness sector is the patented strap technology system that Jorden developed over 15 years of practicing stretch therapy.
When I met Boxwood, they had, I would say, a certain level of emotional intelligence, and they came across a little bit more like laid back. They didn't have the same mentality, and they got the making the difference, and they cared about, from a founder's perspective, they cared about, that it was my baby, my vision, and it was very important who I handed off the company to.
Whenever we had a question, we pick up the phone and call, and someone answered, no matter what, even before we even engaged them as an investment banking firm, and that mattered a lot to us.
We were drawn to Stretch Zone for a variety of reasons, including the highly recurring membership-driven model that they employ across their franchise network, but also how easy it is to open locations. With a small footprint of less than 1,000 square feet, to being able to open something within 90 days from lease signing.
Boxwood's connection to the franchising space, even prior to picking them, we had an understanding, and being in the franchise world, it's a very small world, and kind of everyone knows everyone, but seeing that on the back end and really seeing it work through the process and understanding just how integrated they are in franchising as a whole was just incredible and kind of mind-blowing. And one of the pieces about Boxwood that we really enjoyed, at least from my position as CEO, is yes, they're data-driven. Yes, they understand the core values of the business. Yes, they understand the franchise industry, but I think one of the most underrated aspects is they allow you to focus on the business and what matters. While they're running the process and while they're taking care of all the nitty-gritty and making the connections and setting up the meetings, what it does is it really allows you as the CEO or the operator to continue on the success, continue on the growth trajectory.
First thing they did really well is they really set the expectations. They really gave me like a time frame of, this is how it goes down. This is the first stage. This is going to happen, then that's going to happen, and this is how it's going to transform. They really laid it out very well.
Most memorable, and this might be a testament to Boxwood, when they first did the book that they're going to use through the process, where they really lay out the business and the story, and they do it all based on data, and they do it based on understanding your story and your background. First time Jorden and I got that was like, wow, this is incredible, because it just puts everything that you've built and worked so hard for in so many years, and it puts in such an eloquent and detailed format that they would then show to prospective buyers. But again, it's testament to the hard work they do and the quality of work that they do.
Boxwood put together a fabulous marketing book. They put out a book that when I saw that, my respect for them went up tremendously. It was like someone writing a story about your baby, right? And all of a sudden you look at it and you go, wow, that's well written, that's well put together, the charts, the diagrams. And they represented Stretch Zone in such a positive light, right? To make us look as good as I think that we are, because it's different on paper. And it was an educational experience. They were totally fine with not just learning about my business, but teaching me their business as well. So it was very educational to learn the terminology, the thinking, and how things go. And I want to go back to the emotional intelligence part, because I think it's very important to read a room. And in that room, Boxwood would sit there and they could see the room, understand the flow, the psychology, what's happening, when to interject, when not to. Right? And to read the room, not just for their perspective of getting a deal done, but from my perspective of what I want to see in the group and who I want to hand off the company to.
I think it's for those that are looking to go through this process and try to find the right partnership or look to exit. I think it's just doing it a thoughtful way. Be patient with the process, and again, it's finding trusted individuals.
I would recommend Boxwood because as a founder, for me, this was my baby, this was my legacy. Boxwood understands that. They've dealt with founders. And for me, the idea that they really could understand that it wasn't just like a money thing of who has the best deal, the best money, but it's the best match. This is someone that's going to be taking over and continue to raise my kids. I'm handing off my children, basically.
They're just stand-up individuals in a stand-up group. Everything they say they're going to do, they do. And the other piece too is that they do understand that every single brand, every single CEO, every single founder is different. You know, yes, Boxwood is so data driven, but also they understand the people aspect behind the business, which I think is so critical. And so when you can trust a group to represent you well, so that way you can focus on what you're doing day to day and continue to drive the business, I think is hyper critical. Combine that with just their background knowledge of the industry space and the franchise industry, and just you know, all their connections that they have throughout the entire space, it's a win-win.